Okay, well, sleep all day means more time to play Nero, less time to play OCS. That's fine. I haven't finished my setup yet. Let me just see the order here. I believe you have to place your pieces, yeah, before you get your cards, which is a little weird. Like, in a lot of games, they give you that kind of option, but I'm going to do that right away. I did want to interject a little bit, though, which is that I looked at some of the ratings for this. It's got like a 3.5, which is just abysmal, right? But there's a couple of 10s. I can discount them. They had no comments. But there were some decent ratings, a 9 and an 8 or something like that. At least one of which had a, if this is a terribly misunderstood game, it just doesn't seem like there's that much to it. But I can understand the desire towards a simple kind of military themed game of this nature. I do have some that I rather like that don't have a good hard history. So I'm going to see if I can get something pleasant out of the play here. But anyway, let me. I guess we'll start up there. We'll just say that the sequence is going to go counterclockwise as normal for me. And, I don't know. We'll just start. The first thing is the thought of my 3 pieces that I get some choice on. First of all, my initial impression is, I should put my leader and 2 legions in one place. But honestly, the leader doesn't do shit. He really doesn't. Until he gets upgraded, he's useless. So I kind of feel like maybe I should put the leader somewhere in the middle where he can command stuff. Then there's the question of, do I put legions, do I put them combined where they're going to be more successful? And if that's the case, and I think it is for this player, I'm going to drop them both here in Germania Superior because I think my advance in that direction is kind of advantageous to me. There's a end of the world type thing, just a single crossing point that I have to control. Now, sure, I've got some muddling, all over the place elsewhere, but I'm kind of thinking along the lines of, in Risk, South America, Australia, the better you can kind of get yourself in a little hidey hole, the better a game a situation is. And sure, I do have to defend some broader areas, but I may have advantages based on that. Anyway, that's my thinking with him. I'll do my thinking with the next player. And I may roll some dice for decisions and whatnot. I didn't feel like I had to. Otho, green, we're just going to call him by color, I guess, sees this as sort of a body slam against him. So he's responding to that immediately. What does that do for blue? Does blue, make some sort of decision of... So first of all, yellow's out of my reach. I could make a decision to try to pick on green. That's appealing. Or I could position myself against red. Or, of course, take a more balanced position. I'm not sure. Everything here in Asia Minor because I feel I'm kind of protected here because of green's placement. Well, that puts red in an interesting choice of, do I just dominate the defense there? Or do I look for, hey, maybe we can kind of squeeze yellow out and there's an advantage there? Without knowing my cards, I don't really want to deal with the purples. There's no production or anything like that in this game, so, it's all, what can you capture, in terms of troops from other players. I'll put my whole defense into play here. And I don't know. Again, leaders, I don't know what the hell I'm doing with them. All right. I'll shuffle the cards some more because I like shuffling them. And actually, the generals went last. You put your troops down, then you put your generals. But they really don't do shit. All right. Now, I should have probably made red go first. Because honor of Elmo because this is like Elmo's week of great fame or something. I don't know. Uh, I find him incredibly annoying. Sesame Street, like I had certain memories of Sesame Street, and then as my brother was growing up, I saw bits of it when I would visit home when he was very young, and it just wow, the show seemed so much worse. And it's funny because I saw some guy did a video on Elmo destroyed Sesame Street, and that like a quarter of the show became about him, and it just became louder and more annoying in so many ways, and just a different sort of thing. Anyway, all right. So yellow's up first. Let's take a look at what we got. Well, first of all, we have uh, the idea of events. Do we care about these particularly? We got chicken. What is chicken? I'm guessing auguries, but okay. Yeah, doesn't look like a chicken there. Looks more like an egg. Which came first? Um, I'm yellow. I believe that's a German problem. I really don't like the choice to do pictures on these. Uh, Maybe that's a rebellious legion. I don't know. I think that's a rebellious legion, not a German tribe. Interesting. I'm just looking through to see what I want to do. Ave Caesar. I'm in a position where I could declare myself a contender, I believe. Let's take a look at the sequence on that. Why do I have a pencil here? Why do I have an eraser here? Let's not hide the eraser, though. That'll be my turn marker. I'll put it over here to remind me who's going. Okay. So the Caesar thingy, becoming emperor by legion declaration. You become a contender. You have to have one of your own legion, your own base of operations. You control the area the province is in. And yeah, so that's actually kind of appealing. So I'm looking at the bribe is not really interesting for that format. I'm looking at doing an Ave Caesar. That'll get me an extra strength point with my leader, among other things. And I can do it for free because I haven't lost any territory yet. I can also convert something to a non-controlled, so I can like actually do a lot here, I think. Okay, maybe going first is kind of cool. I've got a picture. I think this is a revolting province, Greece. Yeah. Intriguing. That's going to be here. What would that do? Doesn't really help me. I'm not facing red. Not a useful card. More bribe. A flock of angels. This is the Senate influence. Not really useful. More of that. Lightning. Bad weather. And then I'm guessing this is the galley fleet. Okay. So I got a couple I want to do, or that I might want to do. I'm going to play the Ave Caesar, and I get to replace myself with an Imperator or a contender. Okay. I'm going to play this and convert one of these. No, I'm yellow! Oh, fuck me. Hold on. Doing it in the wrong order. Let's get Otho back here. We're doing the wrong player. Okay. Um, well, we'll do the same strategy. I will mark him up as the Imperator. Maybe shouldn't have placed him there. I will convert. I'm not threatened by red, so I will convert one of his to a gray. Okay. Now, for movement, I want to gain as much as I can. It's not absolutely necessary for me to control this, so I can start this. I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4. Pick all those up. 5. I don't think I have to pay to attack. So that would be a 5 movement. A 6 movement would actually allow me to pick this up, I think, before attacking. Again, I'm just kind of making things up because it's not absolutely clear the timing of these issues. Things are not well nailed down there. So a 6 movement sounds really appealing. Could this be valuable to me? It could be if things turn against me. I think the galley fleet is much less valuable to me because I'm not up there. So I'm going to play a 6 movement. And I start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I pick this up. No, 6, 7 to pick that up. 5. Okay, I don't want to play this. I want to play a 5. I'll play a bribe. Okay. But there's the possibility of some kind of reaction here as he's going. So let me just see if he wanted to stop anything in the way. So I could have bad weathered this, which might be a good idea. Once he reaches here, it's pretty clear who he's going after. I'm going to bad weather him. Now, this is problematic. I've played 2 cards. I'm going to keep them here. 2. That's the 3rd. This guy's played a bad weather. Bad weather stops the movement. And it's finished for that playing round. Which means this guy has the opportunity to play another card, but he probably doesn't want to. There's nothing that cancels the bad weather, is there? Oh, wait. There is. I'll play an augury to cancel. That goes away. Yeah, there's only one of these. So I will leave this here for now. Does he have something else to prevent that attack? Okay, he's got these daggers. That's an assassin. That's not going to help. Could be done at any time. That's a poor health. I could play this against the general. I think that stops the entire force from moving. Yeah, I don't like what he's doing. So I'm going to play the bad health next. Now, the way this says is that general contender may not move any more of the player around. It may prevent movement of a general contender. The event may be placed against a galley fleet event of another. So it's very clear here that it's only the general's piece that's affected. So he could stop here. I'm going to keep going in. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe not so wise because I've spent 4 cards already. So with the general in play, I would have like a 4-point advantage, and he's only allowed to play, I don't know, one or 2 cards. 2 cards, I think. Of course, he's already played 2, so he could actually end up winning the fight. I think I'll just suffer the effects of this and take it. So there's a turn. And I'm not going to play, well, I don't have the capability to play any other cards. So that's the play of a single turn. And I have to say, the thinking that goes behind it, the cancellations and whatnot, there is something interesting going on here. I think there's something very cool about the mechanisms in this game. and that if somebody had just done a better job of nailing down the rules, normally I'm like, okay, I can handle that the rules aren't nailed down, but here they're really vague, you know, and I may interpret them differently as I go through the game. I gotta move my eraser and run upstairs, check on Raid, see how it's doing because I'm letting it fight uh, a big Hydra battle for me, and I'm just gonna keep letting it rerun the battle and see if I just get lucky while I'm down here doing this because I don't want to sit around and watch it and interfere with it and whatnot. It's just I'm getting sick of the game, but I can't break out of it because it's like it's duty, duty, and everything that in my life that gets defined as kind of duty is like and you can say it's habits, patterns. Like work was that way. Making sure that my wife would have, the ability to sustain her existence after I die, hopefully soon. Not wasn't so hopefully then, but you know, um, these were all duties. Some things should be duties and they aren't. Like I should be trying to keep up my house and stuff like that. They're not. I don't know why. Okay, let's look at Greenstone and see what they want to do. And again, I feel like this game was a different. I don't know. Like, there are an amount of these that make it make sense using them as control markers, but man, it's so obvious, right? I control this. It's easy enough. You know, it's not controlled though. This. Because I moved out of those areas. So that's some victory points that I don't get. Well, might not get. Green. Now, green's in an interesting position. Um, so let's look at this. I don't know what the hell that is. Statues. I get to turn people to stone. Those are Praetorians. Not terribly helpful. Bribes, assassin. Okay, some dude. That's a traitor. I can steal a card from another player's hand. I could use that drawed card immediately. Interesting. It's got a high movement value for stealing a card. Like, especially if I'm stealing a card from the guy who just schwacked me. But somebody might be reserving a powerful card for the end or whatever. It's a good card overall. I don't really know. So now conceptually, I am in a position where if I had an Ave Caesar, I could use it, but I don't. And I don't know how many there are. There's no. This is something that I consider kind of a minus. There's no list of how many of each card there is in the deck of each event, which might be a valuable thing to know. Maybe, maybe not. Yeah, so I have a lot of stuff I can do, and with me back here, I don't feel like I'm terribly powerful. Without an Ave Caesar, I can't declare myself. Can I become an emperor by declaration in Rome? I must have 5 declaration points. What give me declaration points? Legion superiority. Every legion I bring into Rome gives me a chance. Otho is close, so I probably should have started here with this in mind, but what the hell. Area control 2 for each area I control. So I would have to like leave units everywhere. I can pick this thing up. But yeah, I would have to yeah, it's kind of painful. I have to pay 2-3 to pick that up. To pick up 2 legions there. Of course I could leave something there. We can figure out whether I can do this or not. Area control would be 2. I need to get to 5. Legion superiority, I could leave one above. I could leave legions behind. That gets me pretty close. Senate influence, support of Praetorian guards. The Senate influence could be canceled by bribes. I don't believe I can bribe the bribers. I have a Praetorian guard. That cannot be canceled. So at this point, I'm looking at, I probably have enough points. Okay. So if I do that, what do I want to spend? 2, 3, maybe 4, 5, 6 movement points. What's this card? 2, I turn this green again and pick it up. 3, I pick this up. 4, 5, I leave them behind for 6. I'm in Rome. Now, my points, I have 2 Legion superiority points. I have 2 for area control. I need to play either a Praetorian Guard, which cannot be bribed away, or a Senate influence. I'll play the Praetorian Guard, and I will become Emperor. And this is appropriate. Otho is now the Emperor. He's in Rome, though. Ratrow, I can't move him any further because I've spent my 6 movement points. I am going to hold my cards because they're pretty good at preventing me from being assassinated, as far as I can tell. Toss those up there. Yeah, there are some interesting options in this. Like, I feel like I'm opening up, a totally new type of game here. Something of a nature that I did not expect from what I looked at as by looking at the rules. I get the feeling, so, the guy who's like, oh, this is an incredibly clever game, or whatever he said, it's a misunderstood game. Um, that may be the case. I think more of the case is the rules are such shit that people couldn't figure out, what it's playing and what not. So they're kind of rating it on it's an unplayable mess. There doesn't seem to be a big set of people who are really intrigued and impressed with what the game is like. Um, but given its historical background and what absolute shit the history is that's being used here, I mean, other than the names of the 4 people who became emperor that year, it's really, there's almost nothing here, right? There's a few little things like, yeah, the Praetorians and the Senate had some power in selecting the emperor. And there's ideas that work, but when you try to link it really clearly, it's, I don't know. I mean, if you took this issue out, how bad would it be? I don't know. Still pretty bad, I think. And it's not like those aren't provinces, but a general could be and was at the period assigned to attack that. Now, it was not Galba. Galba was in Hispania. It might have been Vitellius. I don't remember what he was in charge of. But if you play like Imperium Romanum 2, each of the contenders, pretty except for Otho, has something external on which to fight for Rome, and kind of not seem like, in order to keep their armies from degenerating. It's a really weird situation because if nobody declares against Otho, he would just be de facto emperor. It's only the fact that like the army called Galba in, as in, yeah, this guy is Otho is just not acceptable. And I trying to remember if Galba actually like died in battle or like died due to the revolution due to an opposition to him, or if he just died of old age. He was very old. um, but I think Vitellius had already raised the flag against him. And I don't know if they had clashed. My my memory of these histories is terrible. So like if I designed such a game without doing any research or anything, it would come out kind of like this, right? I mean, I would have these vague ideas and maybe get some shit right, but not much. Okay, so that is the green player. I'm going to go up and check again. So far, it's not looking very good. I may just shut it down if it keeps being shit. A massive flaw in my team, which I corrected. But I copied somebody else's team, but they have They've set their stats up apparently in a different way than I have, and are just brighter than I am able. Well, not really able, but you have so like I know what I need to do in order to fix it, but you have so few resources in the game that it's like really hard to do. What was this guy? A traitor. I don't remember what that is. That's steal a card. Again, a high valued card. The bad augury is a very powerful card. You can only do this if there's no emperor in play. Is this the Germans? No, this is a rebellious legion. This is the blue player. I could cause Britannia to revolt. Uh, I don't know. You know, I mean, we've got an emperor. That sucks. But I might be willing to let another player. Like, it's not. It doesn't really behoove me to attack this guy. This is the multiplayer. Let somebody get in the lead because it makes them the bunny. So if you can be in second place, you're actually in a better position. So this guy grabbing the emperorship, he might actually be doing pretty well. I'd rather not waste my card for that. But what does that mean? Well, I do not appear to have an Ave Caesar, so not that I could become emperor. Well, I could become a contender at this point. I couldn't become an emperor. And it's kind of weird. It's like, to me, it feels like if you haven't declared yourself a contender, you don't know if you like. There's a loyalty issue, right? If this guy is the sole emperor, anyone who's not declared themselves as a contender for the empire probably shouldn't be able to attack him or cause any problems. And people shouldn't just be able to invade one another's territory. There's sort of like a political element to this that I feel like it's what I would hope for so that I could use it as that framing device, I guess. So, what the hell do I do in this case? I have no advantages. I have no boat here. I don't have the troops here to push into Hispania, which I would like to do. Um, although I could just send more troops up that way. What does that do me? I don't know. I have to play a card. Red's poised against me. I'm going to steal a card from red. All right, there are 10 cards in the deck in his hand. So I'm going to randomize just which one I get. I guess top, bottom, and then 1 through 5. That'll be the lowest ranked card. So I steal a card from him, and I get one of these. Well, that's kind of interesting. That's different. A galley fleet. Is there something I can do with a galley fleet? No. I don't have any assassination cards or anything like that. I'm going to just call it a pass right now. Like, I did my one card. Good card, but that I had to waste. What's up with red? Again, a traitor. This one, really good for military. Oh, I'm Ave Caesared out the ass, man. That is very appealing. I haven't lost my territory yet. So that's all I have to do, right, is just play an Ave Caesar. That doesn't make me the emperor until I start a turn in Rome. So I'll play one of these. Now, anyone could stop me. Blue has the most interest in stopping me here and does have a chicken, which he will play. But I happen to have another Ave Caesar, and it's not a play once, so I'll play that. And that allows me to become an Imperator. I could fight. See, here's one of the things is that, like, the rules could be interpreted. I don't think this is the case, but the rules could be interpreted in some places as only your leader is able to move forces around. That doesn't make sense with all the rules about, forces can move in both direction, multiple directions out of a single province, and how that actually operates. So there's a lot of interpretation that has to take place. Right now, if I just marched into Asia, I would be a +2 against those armies. As far as I could tell, I could say use this, since he's kind of in a backwater, and go 1, 2, 3, 4, pick these up, and I think pick the leader up. I don't know. 4, 5 into here. That would allow me to attack, and I'd be at a lot of pluses and be gaining some ground. And that seems valuable. I wouldn't have a lot of cards to use in battle because I've used so much to move myself into position. But given that I'm facing this guy, another option, though, would be I grab these. 1, doesn't cost to pick these guys up the first time. 2, 3, attack those, and then he's stuck in Rome, not particularly leading anything. What I want to do is catch him outside of Rome where I could kill him and become the emperor. But I could actually march into Rome eventually and become an emperor. So that's not bad either. So I was saying I want to go 1, 2, 3, fight. I should win. 4, move into Rome. I become emperor. That sounds good. So I will pay a 4 card. And we'll do this. 1, 2, 3. I've used 3 of my 4 movement points. I declare I'm attacking. As far as I'm interpreting the rules, and again, this is pure interpretation, it doesn't cost me because it's the first battle, but later ones cost a lot more. Okay, so now I am at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, +1 for the Imperator, 5 to 2. I'm at +3. I don't know what the best he has could be. He has 2 cards he can play. I look at all my cards. I have one that's a good combat card. I think that's important that I fight here, so I'm going to play that card. The rest of my hand goes away. That's the last card I can play. And green has the capability of trying to defend himself. Now he is currently at -2, -3. And I would need 2 good military cards to beat him up. I don't have a lot of good military cards. So I'm going to say I am only going to defend so I'm already at -3. It would take 4 to have any success at all. So I'm going to say only on a 1 do I even try. The best I can get is an even. On a 1 I think about it and probably roll another die. No. So I'm going to pass on playing a card. Now he didn't know how bad my hand was in combat. So we flip this up. He wins the battle. That converts one of these to red. In my movement, I have lost control of my territory. But this is expended. I'll put this here. I had 4. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm allowed to move. Since I'm not fighting, I don't pay any extra expenses. I don't see a reason not to go into here. I don't know if my troops really help me here. I could leave them behind. That's quite a nice pile. Let's check this. Now, to become emperor, I must start one of my turns in Rome. If I do so, and there is one or no emperor in play, I become an emperor. This seems like a reasonable choice. Am I allowed to fight? Like, if I bring my army with me, am I allowed to fight? I don't know, but Rome does. It seems like the laws of Rome can be respected here. I don't see any real reason for me to move in. And that, did I play this? I don't know. Who the fuck is this? What is all this? Oh, these are the used cards. Somebody else played an augury earlier. I hope it wasn't me. That's once around. Yeah, this is interesting. I mean, this is not what I was expecting of this game. I was expecting sort of your normal kind of area control type game, but it's not. You're doing weird shit in this game in terms of thinking, and I really wish the rules were nailed down so that like I knew I'm playing it right, and so that also not that I'm good at that, but I feel like it deserved a little bit more effort in terms of a developer to make sure that things. Is there a developer listed? There is. And it's not the same as the designer. There might be a language difference there, but wow. Yeah, that's. I mean, I don't recognize any of the names, so there's that. Well, I ended up getting a result that I like. It used up a lot of my good champions, and you've got a limit to how many you can use each turn, but I'll take this. This is sort of like the minimum that I like. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Because it's just such a pain in the ass to do otherwise. All right, we're on the yellow player. Now green has run away to go become emperor. That changes the nature of the world, doesn't it? I cannot. No, I could still become an emperor. But he's going to become emperor on his next turn if nothing happens. So that's kind of problematic. I can gain territories and capture troops that way. That seems appealing. Because I've been kind of left alone back here. And am I threatened by this? Maybe. Maybe that's a big threat. So let's take a look at the battle fatigue rules, because that's what's going to affect us here. And however, the cost of every battle after the first will increase by 1 movement point. Now, as far as I know, the first one didn't cost me anything. And I think I found an example of that somewhere before, and I'm not gonna parse through these rules because I've found conflicting examples and whatnot. So I've got to just kind of stick by gut feeling here of what I remember about it. I may be doing it differently from how other people have chosen to interpret this. That's fine. By the way, there's some alternate rule sets for it, but like they're listed as variants, and I don't know that they're like, what's needed here is somebody to clean up this game and get what the designer intended. I don't feel like opening up some alternate scenario that like probably is not as clever as I think this original is. Okay. Because it was a Praetorian played, there was no counter to that. So I didn't have to look through anybody else's hands. I'm just trying to Trying to grasp all the things in my head. This would be just such a horrible, and the pictures, they do not help at all. They are horrible for this. Like, you'll have to play this a number of times to kind of get used to it and just recognize what the different pictures mean. Man. But I understand it was released in multiple languages, whatever. Not too many. Okay. So, I would need 1 fight, 2, 3 to fight, 4, 5 to fight. Each of those fights would gain me a unit if I'm successful. That sounds pretty damn good. Unfortunately for me, my 5 is a nice bad weather card, which could be really useful. I don't have a lot of combat cards. How is this? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it needs to be 5. All right. We'll play a 5 movement card. We're going to take our entire force because we have a huge advantage by doing so. Now, I could have, and this is how I'm interpreting the split movement thing. I could have moved a unit here, 1, 2, dropping something off there, and moved a smaller force here into the west. I'm not going to go for that yet. I'm going to go up here. Now, that means I'm abandoning some of my area. Okay, so that's 1. I launch an attack on green. Now, green is facing, this is an imperator, or a contender. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm at like -5, and if I recall correctly, my counter cards were not good. Both people play their cards secretly. I don't want to play any cards. And I don't think he does either. So that converts one of these over. Green no longer. Green does control. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think red still controls their area, by the way, because they have the majority of the provinces in it. Yellow does not, because I moved out. But I did before, so if I left a unit behind, I'd be okay. Okay, anyway, that was 1. Do I want to take this with me? Yeah. 2, 3. Again, I'm going to just let it ride, and he, again, is not going to defend it. He doesn't want to waste his cards on it, I guess. He's not happy with what's happening in terms of his armies. We'll move into here. Boy, do I have a big stack. This uses up my 5 movement again. There it goes. And another yellow there. Okay, this stack has moved and cannot move anymore. I can't detach units and whatever. Green has lost their area control. What do I want to do with my other pieces? Nothing. I like where I'm at. I want to have lots of cards, because I want to be able to, after I make my successes and gather things, maybe end up in control of 2 areas, right? That's my thinking. Well, green feels a lot worse. My territory has just evaporated. I got to think about these cards, and to each turn is such a sort of a brain racker in terms of like plotting it out and doing it. I kind of want to break right away, at least a moment or two to puff on my pipe and think about what the hell's going on here, and about, you know, how the game is developing, because this is weird. It is really weird. I'm trying to picture what's happening in Rome right now. Green's sitting here with 2 assassination cards. He can't use them because this guy hasn't declared himself emperor. Tell Tiberius you can't kill people that you just feel vaguely threatened by, okay? Yeah, so that feels, again, like much of this game. It just doesn't feel like it hits on the gears in terms of like any kind of accuracy, anything believable. What the hell am I going to do, though? I've just been reduced massively. There's a huge yellow army in my way. I don't have any boats. I think I can move here, pick these guys up, and leave without being interfered with, because I'm not moving in with an army. I am the emperor. Oh, you know what I've been fucking forgetting? Wow. Alright, I've been forgetting to withdraw before combat, which definitely would have been the idea here. Oops. Well, it's hard to remember rules when you're playing a game for the first time. So green is in a horrible position. What do I want to do? Well, I am the emperor. I'm going to do imperial things. I want to move here 1, pick this up. That doesn't cost me anything because I'm just a leader. Move to here 2, attack. Move to here 3, 4, attack. Do I have a 4? I have one that's a good cost in terms of my military capability that I do. Okay. So 1, 2. He can withdraw before the attack is declared. Hurry up before he declares it. Okay, so he's going to be a little bit more clever. I would be at a -2 on my combat here. I don't have a huge shitload of combat cards. What happens if I withdraw? It's going to be more expensive for me to move that unit. But here we go. I withdraw. So now the fight is not as good. Now he hasn't spent his attack yet. So he came 1, 2. I could go somewhere else. Go pick on red stuff. But red can withdraw as well. Wow, it's really hard to pin somebody down. Too bad this guy didn't take advantage of that. 2. Oh, these are pinned down if I attack him? No, because he can withdraw into there. Yeah, I don't have, it's very hard to catch somebody off guard. 3, 4, I'll move down here and I will attack that. Well, red doesn't want to face that. So he too will pick up a withdrawal marker. These are kind of annoying. Because I don't know, I don't really have there's no see-through. You know, what this is just telling me is it's going to cost me 2 movement points to pick that thing up. All right, well, green's turn was ineffectual. They're feeling stupid for not having realized about the withdrawal rule, and now that collectively we all thought of that, red has pulled away, and now green is like, no, I could have bought RIUs or RUIs. It was that kind of moment in Stellar Conquest. Robotic and RIUs, I think they're called, robotic industrial units. There was somebody who did not take advantage of them over the course of the entire game, and like just then realized that, wow, that's the way to make enough money, to make enough production in the game to get things done. Huh. Okay, I'm less intrigued with these withdrawals. Like, the withdrawals feel like they change the nature of the game in a way that feels less exciting to me somehow. But maybe it was just too powerful, just scooping through and getting this huge army. Like, we had this sort of trade-off. Do you want to be emperor, or do you want, you know, to leave territory to other people? Okay. On to blue. And gotta think. The mistake that green made by not withdrawing is the kind of thing that I would curse and rail about if I was playing something that was a little heavier than this. But this is the kind of game where it's fine to explore and fuck up. You know? It's like, hey, you know, it's not going to be that long a game, and maybe I can recover. But blue is in a position that I really like. So blue is sitting over here. I can march to here. This is still allowed to withdraw. I might end up withdrawing here or up there. It doesn't really matter. You might end up withdrawing. All that empty space makes all these withdrawals very easy. That's the problem. Somebody, a couple of players cleared out a lot of space. But blue can move forward, move into here, maybe attack it. Maybe he gets to attack it, but it does get to withdraw. So if I was going there, I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If this withdraws, it'll go into here. I'll have some extra movement points in that case. Well, oh, fuck. No, it's not good enough. So, if this withdraws and goes into here, then I've got this guy pinned. And I can be emperor. But that's probably not something red wants to have happen. So red will withdraw to here if they're clever. Which means that I can't catch this guy either. Can't catch a break, man. What does that mean? I don't know. So 1, 2, 3. Say he withdraws. Drop a unit off. 4, 5. 5 sounds like my target number. That sounds like it'll work. And again, I mean, look at the thinking that I'm having to do and the counting and everything as to what's going on. I have a bunch of nastiness here. I have a couple of these. This looks like my best choice to spend. Now, I spend that and I activate. Green's like, this can't be... Actually, I don't know. Green and red are probably looking at this and saying, this can't be good. Green has no counter for it. Does red have a counter for it? Red does not have a counter for it. So I have a 5-point move card. I'm picking this up. 1, 2, 1. If I leave this behind, I'm okay, but I'm going to need troops. 1, 2. Right, I move 1, pick up troops 2, 3. I fall back again. You are allowed to withdraw multiple times. 4, 5. Now, because I'm coming from this direction, he can't withdraw in that direction. Because I've got this blocked off, he can't do anything about that. Red has lost their province. These are all going to have to flesh out again, right? And now I'm attacking as a general with 1, 2, 3 strength points to 1, 2, 3. I'm at even, but I have a shitload of cards I can play down. Now these cards are played underneath the table, which means they're completely hidden, and I believe he's allowed to play 2 cards to defend his Imperial Majesty. At even, I will play this and odd even and this, and figure that that's probably good enough. What's up with him? I'm only allowed 2 cards. Do I want to defend myself? 50-50. I choose not to. I choose, once again, to fail. Okay. What happens? I reveal these. Blue has won the battle. I've used up 3 of my 4 cards. A green token is captured for a blue token. But much more importantly, this guy gets downgraded, I believe, all the way to general. Yeah. All the way down to general. He's just hanging out there. Not where he wants to be at all, nowhere near his troops. Can't do shit. And this guy gets upgraded all the way to being one of the emperors. And because you kind of want to keep an economy of cards, I don't think it really helps me to spend another card at this point. So that moves this up here. And yeah, I mean, it's still weird, right? There's still a lot of intriguing things going on in this game. And they're going to get weirder at the end of the turn. It's not like you end up with... There are 6 extra legions on the board. That's all there are. 8 extra legions. That's the excess. Everything else should probably, at the end of a turn or whatever, be covering territory. But that might be hard to do. Wow. Beginning of Red's turn, they upgrade from Contender to Emperor. And what the hell am I going to do? Well, I'm kind of powerful. What is my goal? Delay of game, man. That's what it is. Oh, boy. This is really... Like, I can gather these forces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That will put me up to a 7. I'm smaller than that. I can't really push down and hit him because he's got Thrace he could withdraw to. And do I really want to? You know, I'm an Emperor. He's an Emperor. If I go chasing him, Galba becomes the Emperor. Or an Emperor. So it becomes a... How do I get my points? What do I do to gain points? What do I want to fuck around with, honestly? Let me turn off camera and me turn off camera and count. No, that's Cookie Monster's syntax. Elmo, turn off camera and count. See, that's one of the things. Elmo's like, if you refer to yourself in the third person a lot, there's something really fucking wrong with you, right? Like that's like serious narcissism traits there. People are taught. People who do tend to do that are very quickly like disabused of that activity if they have any kind of like reasonable situation. So like, I'm worried what the effect of so much influence of such a narcissist on little kids is. It's such a broad realm. I mean, it's just weird. This is not something the guy brought up in the video, but I'm like, that's fucking narcissist behavior. Like, really serious. And if we're training people to do that, is that going to impact, like, is it just going to become a verbal commonality where people start referring to themselves in the third person? And you can't blame Trump. You can't blame Elmo for Trump, right? Because he was probably not watching a hell of a lot of Sesame Street when he developed that habit. Like, either he developed it as an adult, or when Elmo might have existed. See, I don't remember, but I remember him referring to himself as Trump in the 80s. So probably about the time Elmo was around, but he may have done it before that. But wow, I'm just wondering if like the verbal habit is dangerous enough. Like, I have my own that I've used at times, which is not along the lines of, well, the Enrico. I would refer to myself as the Enrico, right? As if I'm an object that I'm referring to in the third person, which is, I think, a different kind of thing. Also, I have my narcissism, but anyway, where are we here? We're on red, and I'm trying to figure out, blue uses Cookie Monster syntax. Red uses Elmo. Okay. Well, I think red's best move is to pick on yellow up here. And to do that, I'm going to need a 1 2, 3, 4, or 2, 3, 4, depending on where I want to leave a unit behind. I have a card of that nature. So 1, I think I go 2, 3, 4 up like this. I've blocked him off in all directions. I'm leaving Dalmatia alone because that's close to blue. I'm a little scared of him. And what is our fight going to be? Well, I've got 4, and I'm an Emperor, 5, 6 to 2. So I'm at +4. I don't feel like I can count on +4. So I'm going to play this. He doesn't know how many cards I'm playing. How do I feel about those 2 units there? It's a good question. It's at +4. The most I can do is put 5 to match it. So I will not fight. He has played that. Yellow loses 1. I'm guessing the attacker gets to choose and not take the withdrawn unit. This goes here. This unit cannot retreat any more than it could withdraw. So we've played a couple of cards. Is there any reason we would want to play more? I don't think so. I think in general you want to play as little as you can to get whatever your little goal is at that moment. And that means we go over to Big Bird's turn. Now Big Bird is going to be the hard one to do. I can't even really do Big Bird's voice at all. Like so Kermit, Elmo, Cookie Monster, they all have like not just interest. This is Kermit the Frog, you know. I'm not even doing it right there, but they have interesting patterns to their choices in how they express themselves and who they call themselves, right? You know, me Cookie, me like Asia, you know. All right, Cookie Monster is the easiest thing, whatever, and the one I'm most familiar with. It's weird. But what's really odd is like I think I liked Big Bird the most when I was young, but now I like Cookie Monster more. Just an expression of like the internal existence. I always liked being blue though, so okay. This turned into fucking who gets crowned king of Sesame Street? Yeah, okay. Here's the thing, none of it would happen, right? Except that like Elmo being in the news. Because these are the 4 colors that games most likely use, right? Red, yellow, blue, green. Damn. Everything uses them. And, you know, a lot of the common family games and everything. Those would be the 4 you could count on. Every now and then something wouldn't have them. But now, it's stuck for this fucking game that I have to use Sesame Street characters as each of the different players. And that may happen from now on, for all I know. My take on this for yellow is that his best move is to grab these remaining pieces and then spread out over territory. Moving into here costs 1. I can fight or not fight, but this is probably going to withdraw. It can only withdraw to here. I've got him bottled though. So 1, 2 is all I need. But if he doesn't withdraw, I need 3. Lucky for me, I don't have anything that's that good. So I'll spend a 4 for movement. And I'm running low on cards. 1. Yeah. Definitely want to retreat. Can't go down here because there's an enemy there. So we go there. 2, we get to fight for free. What am I facing? I'm facing 2. I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 advantaged. I'm not going to play a card. He's already not played cards in more important battles than this, so he's almost certainly not going to play a card. He doesn't have, and he can't beat the 7 advantage with the 2 cards he could play. Uh-oh. I am not allowed to attack again, though. I'm only allowed to attack each stack once, which means I came in 1, 2. This is going to be really hard to move. 3, 4, down to here. I don't attack. I leave this back here. I'm making a push against blue here because this card could only be used with pieces that came out of Narbonese Skull. And I didn't do anything, I didn't leave any units behind or anything. So I'm pushing into here. Why? Why not? I don't know. Hoping I was going to get something so that all the batteries were in good shape. Look, some of these might be mostly charged or whatever, but I don't know how much longer this is going to take. So I'm going to leave this here to indicate that it's going to be green's turn. If I come back and do yellow, green has almost nothing left. They have their leader and 1 piece over there, and there are no uncontrolled pieces, so I got a hard job ahead of me to try to improve my position from this point. Green has almost been knocked out of the game. Well, let's take their turn, but then I'm gonna put it on hold. 1, 2, can't become emperor because there's 2 emperors on the board. 3, 4. I'm going to spend the 4 so that I can get close to this for whatever that matters. But this is not good. I'm in really bad shape here. And I could be in a position where I have no pieces and nothing I can do. All right. We'll move the eraser now to blue. And I'm going to plug this guy in and take a break. I hope to get through the first turn at least tonight. I don't know. Like, I had initially thought I could get through the entire game. Blue controls its area, not anymore. Nothing is controlled, seriously. Okay. Fortunately, and some of it's the size of the hand of cards, 10 cards per player, whatnot. But it feels like the reactive nature and the number of these, cards that you might want to play. Hey, like bad weather, stop somebody from moving if it looks like they're going to do something annoying to you. I've been not very good about dealing with those, and that tends to be an issue in general for me. So like, yellow moving into here, hey, I might have stopped them, but I didn't. I'm not sure what blue's up to at this point. I have an emperor. I'm in danger of losing an area, but I'm not sure I want to fight that thing. If I lose the battle, I lose my emperor. I don't want to be in Rome. I can be assassinated. Another way to lose your emperor. Less valuable, though. And I could attack this other emperor here, but I'm weaker. And I'm not really thrilled with the size of my the size of my battle cards. But I don't know, it's hidden trackable information, or maybe not hidden. It's trackable information. So the fact that he only has 3 cards left is appealing. But he's only able to use 2 on defense anyway, and he will definitely defend himself. I believe I'm not allowed to withdraw into here, though, because there's an enemy unit there. Which does make for an interesting case where I can kind of bottle him up in Dacia or whatever, right? Just check the withdrawal rules. What's the restriction? That is only not withdrawn to the palace. They're moving to it. That has no enemy legions in it or is occupied only by its own legions. Not those both say the same thing, but anyway. Well, actually, they say slightly different things. It has no enemy legions in it. This is not an enemy legion, so you could withdraw into that. Or is only occupied by its own legions, which doesn't add anything no matter what. Okay. In fact, it detracts because if there's a neutral legion and your own legions, you wouldn't be able to do it, to withdraw into it. By a strict construction. I don't know what they intend at all, though. All right, so if I wanted to move into there, one, yeah, I need to go here. Yeah, 1, 2, fight maybe. 3, 4. I guess we'll see what happens. I don't know. Move it up. 1. 2. We're going to withdraw into here. 3. I've used 3 of 5. Let's just put that like this because I actually have enough that I can launch an attack into there. Not that I think I want to. And what am I at here? I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 3. So I'm at +3. +3 doesn't feel terribly powerful. What are these? You know, I mean, are those Germans or are those? That's a. That's a rebellious legion. Could have played that and grab another legion here for another movement point. But I don't think I can do it now. I think I would have had to do it before. All right, what about him? Does he want to defend this? This is a fair amount of troops. Odd, I'll defend. It's going to eat up most of my cards to do so. It did. Oh, did I have a card? I have this rebellion in Judea, which could fuck with him pretty badly. But doesn't terribly help me. Might help yellow more. So I'll play these two. So I had said +3, right? I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Oh, to 3 is +3. So now it's at -2. It's at +1. So we've been successful. There's no withdrawal allowed. A red legion is changed in for a blue. I have succeeded in my battle. I can't attack that again, but I have 2 more movement points left. I could move directly into here. He has used up a lot of his defense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. He can withdraw, though. And yellow can withdraw as well. So I get nothing out of that. I'm going to take my 2 movement points to come down here, I guess. Not going to play my cards, although we're getting to the point where players are beginning to run low on cards, but I'm not, flush in cards. I've got 4 cards, which means that I'll have an opportunity to play all my cards, even if everybody else runs out their cards at the same time. Final card. I have to play it. I'm going to withdraw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It gets me the yellow zone. And I'm done. Drives me up to yellow. I'm not in a port, so my port thing can't be used. I could march over and take the last green piece and that would put green in a real disadvantage. Not that they're not already in one. I more wanted to concentrate on blue. If I want to attack this, I think it costs me a movement point because I'm not moving into the area, which I think means moving into here makes more sense. So what would I do? I move into their one attack. This withdraws to Judea. Great. I could come back to actually succeed in attacking. 3, 4. Doesn't sound great. I could spend up to 6, but let's just blow a 4 here. I could launch an attack there, but that's no good. Oh wait, there is a port here. Hold on. Is there somewhere I would like to go because of the port? Because I could like leave a unit here, but I can't attack when I use a port. I think I'm allowed to use a port, but then use a movement card, though. Which might be of some value, right? Because I could use the port, shift over here to Syria, and then attack in this direction, leaving a guy behind here to cover that, so that he has to fight me. What would that would require more cards, I think, than this does. So I'm going to go this way. Take everything because I want to get control. 1. Withdrawal. 2. Now I can attack for free. Nobody's going to play cards. It's just too expensive for the defender to succeed. So I went 1, 2, not 3. Do I leave a piece here? 3, 4. I can't launch an attack this time, but I've gained control of, I guess, this color. With my, I actually have an extra point there, okay, with my Imperator guy. Could I have attacked her? I went 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't have the extra point for an attack. He could withdraw anyway, but I don't think that's of value. But here's the thing, if I spend a movement point to attack him, I don't think he gets a chance to withdraw, because I'll have declared my attack by making that movement point. But he does get a chance to withdraw if I just play a movement card, I guess. I don't know. How is withdrawal worded? In reaction to enemy movement into the province. Yeah, no. So if I don't withdraw now, I don't get to withdraw. I will fall back to Syria with these guys, actually. They're not really doing me any good in Judea. And Judea is a revolt province. Okay, that puts me down to green. Just hoping for the best. Plays a 3, 1, 2, 3. And not actually doing anything with it. Who's in an interesting position where they can pick on red. There are 2 red pieces here. I can only hit one at a time. I can only capture one at a time, which is kind of the sad part of all of this. There's a yellow piece that I could also capture, though. So let's see what we can do. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm an emperor. I want to kind of spread out, but I don't need to hold all the provinces on the board. So let's see, 1, 2, 3. I gotta hold these 2 if I want to block him. 4, 5, 6. So I say a 6 is what gets me a piece. I could do a sail. I'm happy with where I am. I don't want to leave this behind. I kind of don't want to abandon this, but I also can't afford to leave it behind. One, oh, I don't have to go there, if that's the case. Because I'm not trying to capture every location. So what I have to do is much less. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I do have to go here. I need to block that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, we'll play a lightning bolt. I don't think anybody wants to waste a card to stop me. Red is the only person who might at this point. Okay. 1, 2, and nobody's going to see anything that they don't like. 3. I'm attacking here. I've got the advantage. So a blue one comes over. As far as I can tell, this ends up with a withdrawal marker as well, just like that did. 4, 5 into here. Yellow could defend. What do I have? 2, 3, 4. 6 to 1. I'm at +5. On a 1, I throw a card in. What about him? What's his hand like? He doesn't really want to defend this terribly much. I'm going to say on a 1 he defends. He does not. Which means that this space also goes over to blue. Let's make a quick check of what's happened. There's a provincial line here between these two, I believe. Yeah. So yellow still red still controls yellow. Blue has not gained control over the reddish area of the Greeks because this is split and I wasn't able to hit it again. It's red's turn. They don't get a turn anymore. That puts us over to yellow. Yellow controls this. I don't know what I can do. What I think I want to do is ship. This is expensive to move. I might lose it, but I'm going to ship my way up to here. Now, could I do anything exciting right away? Well, among other things, I'm getting into a position where I can take green over. I think I want to hold my cards to make decisions, but it's hard to tell. You know, I might be able to take advantage of this situation because I haven't moved yet. And if we look at, I don't know, when played, this allows us to move up to, only up to 3 legions. Oh, fuck. Screw me. That's not happening. Yeah. I don't want to move that small a force. Right. Yeah, oh, crap. I thought this was exciting. Like I was able to shift my whole army up there and then operate out of here. But 3 legions, I might want to do this later. I don't right now. Right now, what do I want to do? Well, I'd have to fight this if I move there. Fuck. I gotta think. I don't see the naval operation working because the armies need to be too big right now. What I'm going to do is 1, 2, 3, 4 and fight him. Now green doesn't have a whole hell of a lot, although he did just recover his unit, and it cannot withdraw. So I will be hitting that. I don't know how many I have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to 1. I'm at +6. How many cards do they have? They don't have much use. So they could very easily be dropping like 6 points of cards in there. So I'm gonna throw this 2 in, I think. Now as to his defense, he doesn't have 6 points of cards. What was I at? Was I at just 6 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? So I'm at plus 6. I can't possibly beat it, so I hold my cards. That means yellow's army gets bigger, but he threw 2 cards into the fight. And I assume this guy is revealed. That pushes me to green, who has pretty much nothing he can fucking do. He's probably not where he wants to be. Leaders get blocked by movement? I don't remember that. Oh, I also keep forgetting the, hey, can I have passage aspect of it. Looking for the leader movement rules. Which are kind of scattered in other places. Legions are armies from different players can coexist. They can enter, however they must end. See, I remember there were special rules for just leaders moving, but I don't think they apply to this. I gotta find that example, but I think there's only one place that talks about leaders moving alone, which is them picking stuff up. Even find that exemption. So he's just going to move there. He doesn't have anything else he can do with this card. That puts us to the blue player. Well, what the hell's the blue player up to? He could come back down, pick off this last red piece, conceivably, down here. That would give me control. Or I could chase red around. I don't know. Pay the cheapest thing I have. We'll leave these guys here and move into here. 1. I've got more, so I win the fight. That's 1. Come back down and aim for this. 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm in a position where I can maybe pay these up and grab Judea, end up getting a second area that way. And again, I don't want to use up my cards because I want to drain other people's cards so that I can do as much as possible without any interference. So that's why you have people holding on to their cards as long as they can. This last card could be an expensive one. I could play this and create a rebellion in Greece, a Kia. And then blue, nobody owns a Kia, right? Let's look at, I mean, somebody owns the area, but is it, who gets fucked? Is it that, or is it the red player who gets fucked? Here it is. The card designates the province which will revolt. If your base of operations includes that, you must go in and increase it. Okay, so red would have to put 2 units into there. How do I feel about that? Well, otherwise, so red's going to get lots of points, and I could take some of their points away. But again, I think it's better to be in second than in first. Well, it's better to be in second than to try to drag somebody down. It's better to pad your own points. So I think what I'm going to do is 1, there's no legions here, so I can keep moving. 2, now what? There's an emperor. 3, withdraw. Do I keep fighting? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 5. I have no cards. The best I can get is a draw. He has no cards either, so that's what we get. So I spent 3 movement. I did not attack yet. 3 movement. I own green as well. 3 movement. I want to get the points for this. Blue has cards left. Red does not. I've spent 3. I've got 3 left. So attacking into here, they'll withdraw. I won't gain anything. Not even positionally. So if I go here for 4, this is blue. 4. Red will withdraw. Which direction? If red withdraws into here, it'll help defend this. That'll help nothing. Okay. That was 4. 5 is into here. These guys can't withdraw. I can beat them up. Okay. Now I have 6. Now, I can't move someplace that'll interfere with blue's control because their capability to retreat. I can't gain control of this area. I have 1 extra movement point left. I'm going to use it to march back into here because that's kind of my most valuable place. And yellow is done. That'll put us to green. Green has butt kiss they can do. There's nothing they can pick up. I'll just move up to Britannia with a 5-point card. That puts me on blue. Blue has 2 big cards. All my opponents are neutralized one way or another. I could create a revolt in Britannia. That would force green to move 2 legions here. Green doesn't have any legions, so nothing would happen if I do that. That would be a complete waste. Okay. So, what does blue want to do? I would like to gain control of the yellow area. I think that's probably the best thing I can do. As one of the 2 emperors. Picking those up, does that do me anything? Not really. I could sail. Sailing does me something. Like I could sail my 3 legions to here. They wouldn't be allowed to attack. Or I could just move into here. But that gets things more complicated. Because the advantage of being here is that now I block this off and I can take Judea. I don't see anything else I can do. I could take points away from yellow elsewhere, but I'd rather play this out. So I'm going to sail here. That brings it back to green. Green will simply discard a card. They don't know what the hell they're doing. Blue has 7 points of movement. I will move... Do I want to be in Egypt? Not particularly, but... I will move here for 1, I guess. We may chase them out of the entire area. 1 there, we win the battle. And we get the unit. That's 1. Yellow has lost control. Blue has gained it. We can recalculate these as needed. That's this color. That's 1. 2. Run away. 3. I got a big fucking card, man. 4. Now I've got an extra 2 points there. Yellow has no cards. 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. I could force another retreat there. Five, 6, because I think I fought another battle. 7. That's all the cards. It's time for me to swap batteries. We're at the end of the turn. Hold on for a moment. So now they don't have like an end of the turn maintenance, but one thing I know happens is that these all come off. I should have my control correct. Let me just check it. The red area is controlled by blue. The tan area is controlled by blue. Nothing else is controlled. Nobody else has enough things. And now we count the points. And I screwed things up. Each time a player wins an Emperor-led battle, they gain a victory point. I have been forgetting to collect these, and they're a big fucking deal. I don't know how many have gone into play. It's easy to manage some. I know that blue has gotten quite a few. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to say at least 4. Let's take a look. Red got a couple. I'm going to say 2. I think whoever the other emperor was, Otho, Green or whatever, I don't think they won any battles. So we're just going to point this at this. It's probably it's probably incorrect, but I didn't remember this rule, and I'm trying to estimate it. Okay. But now it's the end of the turn, and there's 2 emperors on the board, red and blue. Each get 2. Nobody's in Rome. Oh, mistake. I counted these Italian locations as being important. Being in Rome is more important. Oh well, we're learning stuff. Areas controlled. Only blue has areas controlled. They get 2 points for each. And provinces held in Italy, yellow and red each get a point. So that's our victory point situation. Blue is way in the lead, which, being way in the lead is not bad. Being a little bit in the lead can kind of suck. But yeah, blue is clearly the opposition for everyone else. Don't worry too much about me fucking up points or whatever, because honestly, my play has been very much exploratory in this game. So I'm not expecting to learn a hell of a lot about maybe sort of grand strategy. Although honestly, I think the grand strategy about this is to be in close second place, and convince other people to do your work for you, or be in striking distance in second place. Have somebody, maybe this is perfect. Maybe being this far advanced is just perfect. It feels a little further than I'd want as red. But if you're like this, then other people are like, yeah, sure, I'm going to help you win. But if you're in this kind of situation, other people are willing to pick off the leader, certainly to a little extent. Green is just fucked. But yeah, what I am learning about the mechanisms that work and don't work in the game, right? Somewhere we should be able to figure out what the order of play is going to be for turn 2. Let's see if we can find that. I believe it's just spelled out. It's just a question of where. The order is the victory point. The player with the least victory points goes first in the current game turn. So green will be the first player, but we keep going counterclockwise. We don't shuffle up the sequence of the players. I don't know how I feel about that. It's much, much easier to play a game if the seating order maintains the sequence all the time. Especially something kind of simple like this, like in 18XX games. Look, sure. Well, no, those maintain seating order as well. I'm trying to remember what doesn't. The problem with games that don't maintain seating order, like let's say it ended up being green, yellow, red, blue for the order. Well, that wouldn't be too bad because I'd have an ordering position there. But if it ended up like green, red, yellow, blue, that would be all mixed up. And I would have to constantly be checking some external reference, basically little markers that move off the board or whatever, for who goes next and whatever. There's enough complexity going on with like reaction cards and shit like that, and all these stupid pictures that I don't know what the fuck they mean in some cases. But yeah, I mean, I'm not keeping my eye on the prize. Red would be in Rome with the Emperor. Like, I think I probably had the movement points to have gone there, and that would have been 2 more victory points, which, you want to collect your victory points if you can, right? I don't think you want to aim to not be in the lead just on that sandbagging type concept, but I also think quite often in these kind of games, the person who hung out in second place ends up winning, but yeah, this is a lot more interesting than I envisioned it from reading the rules. I'm impressed. Like, outside of oh wow, the rules are a fucking mess. Now, that may have had some effect on it in the sense of the rules are a fucking mess and I don't really get what the hell's going on. But the capability of like the way you kind of chase each other around and do shit, it's not like there's no stability to this board, right? It's like you're trying to set up situations wherein you can take advantages. And I think, the more you play, the more you're going to learn in terms of like how to utilize combinations of cards and board positioning and whatnot to do weird things, I think. But yeah, it's really intriguing. You definitely want to be Emperor. There's no question about that. Like, not only is it worth more points at the end of the turn, but the biggie is the advantage in combat and being able to launch attacks that are going to get you victory points and just pad your points that way. Yeah, wow. All right. I don't know if I think it's unlikely I'll get to play any more of this until like Sunday or maybe Saturday night or something, because it is Friday morning already and dark as hell out. Oh, hi, I'm there. Good thing I'm wearing pants. I had to check a video recently where I forgot to wear clothing. Like I had to get up to talk about something, and for some reason I was like not wearing anything. Like, yeah, glad I didn't catch the window there. So I had to actually view one of my own videos before I put it up. That's the extent of editing that I do. That just stick the pieces together. Okay. I think again we're done for a bit. I may be clumsy on the next playing because it's going to be a few days and I'm going to forget a lot of what I learned. But yeah, there is definitely interesting shit going on in this.